can watch it. Perfect. Right. Well, it's good to see that you've all come back for more. I know it's all a little bit different. I think we've got a couple of new ones on tonight, so welcome. Obviously, this programme's all about you preparing for the season. Obviously, it's a little bit different to how we normally do it, but we can, I mentioned it on Tuesday, we can work across some physical and fitness stuff, a bit like Harry's been doing. We can look at some technical stuff, which is why you're doing your videos. And there's obviously the mental side, which gets a little bit overlooked, which we'll do a little bit of as well. Hang on, I think there's someone else trying to get in. Sorry, right, no, we're all good. So yeah, all I want to do tonight, if we're going to have a little quick recap. Now, I had probably 6 or 7 people sent in their goals. So we're going to quickly recap a little bit about that. To-do list, for those that have joined, you've got a task for Sunday. So before Sunday, if you can send me videos of you batting, bowling and fielding, or wicket keeping if you're a wicket keeper. 3 shots, 3 balls, 3 one-hand pickups and throws. If you're wicket keeper, just 3 normal takes and send them in, because they'll help us with some of the analysis we're going to do over the next sort of 3 weeks. So that's the only thing for your to-do list. So jot that down if you didn't have it from Tuesday. Right. So Tuesday got, like I said, we got a fair few sent them in. I gave individual feedback, but I just wanted to talk a little bit generically because there was similar things cropping up from the people that sent them. So just to be clear, so we're looking at you being nice and specific with those performance goals. Okay, so instead of just saying I want to get better at batting or better at bowling, try and be really specific. So it might be that you want to get better against spin bowling. You might want to spin the ball more as a bowler. You might want to bowl faster. You might want to develop your shots, like I said, sweeps and reverse sweeps. You might want to catch more catches. You might want to be more agile in the field. So be really specific with that performance goal that you set, or the 2 or 3 performance goals that you set. Okay, that was just one thing that came up pretty much with everybody that sent bits in. Then the process. Now, this is the most important. So I touched on it on Tuesday. The most important is the process. So it could be around the training. It could be around improving your fitness. But again, be nice and specific that you're going to do some extra training on certain areas. Okay, so keep it nice and specific. And then the outcome, make it measurable. So I got quite a lot saying I want to score a lot of runs. I want to get a lot of wickets. Make sure that you put a number to that. And make sure you've got a time frame. We talked about the SMART goals. Make sure it's a number over a certain number of games, or make sure it's a number over the season, okay? And like we've touched on, those outcome goals are out of your control, a lot of them. So umpires' decisions, weather, coronavirus, whether your captain bats you and bowls you, okay? So that's really the one I want you to focus on least. In the past, that might be the one that you focused on the most, but set your performance goal and be specific. The process is the most important. So you're going to work harder and you're going to work specifically on that performance goal to make it better, and the outcome will take care of itself. Okay. So I've just popped that at the bottom. Identify your specific performance goal, focus all your energy on the process goals, and then the outcome will take care of itself. Okay. So that was a quick recap from the feedback we'd had, just to make sure people are on the right lines. Like I said, I'm more than happy if you want to send it in on email or through your parents, guardians, text it. I'm happy to give you individual feedback to make sure that those goals are along the right lines. Okay, so we're going to move on to bowlers run up. Okay, again in the chat box, because I'm keen for it not just to be listening to me. What is the purpose of a bowler's run up? So in a bit we're going to look specifically at how you mark your run up. But first of all, we'll look at the important parts of your run up and why it's important. So pop in the chat box what you think the purpose of your run up is as a bowler.
That space.
Yeah.
Let me find, where are we? Chat. So let's see if we've got some coming in. So we've got gain speed, gather speed, momentum, brilliant words, super. Get rhythm towards the crease, well done, super. Get more of a rhythm, brilliant. So I think you lot have written these slides. Build more momentum. Brilliant. So I've defined it basically, nice and simple, as to build momentum into the crease in a consistent way, ball after ball. Okay, so you can repeat it and you can do it time and time again. Next one. Why is it important to build momentum into the crease? So to help you increase your speed that you bowl at, or dictate the pace you bowl. So whether you're a fast bowler, a swing bowler, or a spin bowler, your run up is still really, really important. Okay, and you can build pace, or you can dictate the pace or the spin that you put on the ball. All that's help from your run up. It also helps with your accuracy and consistency of both line and length. Okay, so if you think about all your energy and all your momentum going down towards your target, okay, and that comes from the momentum and the speed that you build up in your run up. For me, there's nothing. I was a spin bowler. I don't bowl that much anymore, but there's nothing worse than losing your run up. Okay, so that means that you might have a little bit of a stutter. It just doesn't feel right. Okay, if that happens, what you tend to find is then the end product, so where the ball goes, probably doesn't go where you want it because you're worried about your run up, or you've not quite got your run up right. Similar when we talk about batting on Saturday, you set up, how you hold the bat, how you stand, really helps you to do the things that you want to do, hit the ball and score runs. Same with bowling. Okay, if you can get that run up right, everything else flows nicely. Okay, right, time for you to comment again. So how you mark your run up. We're going to watch a video. So this video is the one I've uploaded onto YouTube, and it's got 4 activities that you're going to do. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'll play the video for us to watch it. I will keep stopping it as we go along, because what I want to do is just explain and answer any questions that you might have on each of the different activities that you're going to do. Okay, just do me a favor, because you know I'm not very good at technology. I'm going to press play in a minute. Just let me know that you can hear the video. You won't hear, I don't think, for the first bit, but when it pans to me, you should hear. Right, today we're going to focus on... Can you hear that? We're just commenting. Let's have a look. Comment up. Can hear it. I'll just turn this volume up from my end. Right. You're only going to hear probably for about 15, 20 seconds first, and then I'm going to stop it. So if we just listen. Specifically, how you mark your run. As a bowler, whether you're a fast bowler or a spin bowler, it's essential that you're comfortable with your run up. And it's a repeatable, consistent run up. This is essential so you're in a positive frame of mind as a bowler, and it transfers positively through into your delivery stride, your coil, and your follow through. As a bowler, how do you currently mark your run up? Okay, so I've stopped it. So that's me down at my cricket club, bit cold, a couple of weeks ago with my hat on. So we've covered the introductory bit, but that question, how do you currently mark your run up? So if you can pop in the chat box, I'd be interested to know how each of you mark your run up, whether that's at training or in a match. So just pop it in a little sentence. I'm conscious I probably rushed through this bit on Tuesday, so I'm going to give you plenty of time to pop your comment in there. So we've got 13 yards roughly, but how do you mark that 13 yards? Make a mark in the dirt. Stride back from the line of the wicket. Daniel, good. Any more for any more? Put your cap there. Walk from the crease. Don't mark my run up yet. That's fine. 13 yards or 13 steps. Brilliant. 5 steps. Cap down. Brilliant. So we've got lots sort of saying they run it out or they stride it out, which is absolutely fine. But what I'm going to give you, and I'm going to let you watch. I'm going to let you watch the video. I'm going to give you a bit of a different way. So I'm hoping that this is going to be new for some of you, and by the end of it, you can take something from it. Okay. So the whole idea of this is we're going through, like I said, the 4 different activities. I'll break them down, but the idea is over the weekend or when you've got sort of half an hour or so that you go to a decent place, probably a field or somewhere where you can actually do these 4 activities. Okay, so I'm going to play it on a bit. I'm going to stop it after I've described each activity. Okay, and I'll explain it. And if anyone's got any questions, they can put it in the chat box. Okay.
Activity 1. We're going to start from the crease line and we're going to run back towards the end of our run up and we're going to pretend to bowl. We're going to do that 3 times, and each time when our front foot lands to bowl, we're going to pop a cone down there. Okay, and we're going to see how consistent our run up is. All right, so from here, I'm going to start with my foot here. When you actually bowl, a part of your foot has got to be behind the crease line. Okay, so any part of my foot. So if I start with my toe over the line before I start my run up back, when I run in and land, a part of my foot is going to be behind the line. Okay, so we're going to do it 3 times with a cone. I'm going to see how consistent we are. Over to you, go for it.
Technical malfunctioning, but you got that. It should have stopped. I'll fast forward it back to the position. So
here, when you actually bowl, a part of your out with my toe over the last part of my foot is going to be. But you go for it.
Pause it here. There we go. Technology not my strong point. Right, so that's activity 1. You may have a cone or 3 or 4 cones at home. If you haven't, you can use socks. You can use anything that you can pop down where you've landed. Okay. Now, by the sounds of it, that's the way that most of you at the minute mark your run up. Okay, so it should be something I think that you're used to and you've done before. Okay, so the first one, activity 1, nice and simple. You can do that anywhere. Some of the videos I've had in of you batting and bowling already, you've got gardens and things that you can probably do that in. Okay, so activity 1 is suitable for the garden. Like I say, do it 3 times. If you can do it a few more times, you can. So that's activity 1. Activity 2, here we go. Can you hear that, or has it gone silent? You just pop in the chat box because I can't hear it. I don't know whether silent.
Silent.
Give me a second. Silent, lots of silence.
The crease line, and we're going to run.
You can hear that.
As you bowl, a part of your foot is gone.
Why is that going silent? Keep it quiet.
Because remember, we said use a cone. So we're all very, very simple. Activity 1 and activity 2. You've tried this 6 times, and you'll have.
Right, for some reason, activity 2 is not going to play, but I can explain it to you. And what I'll do is I'll check on YouTube that it is actually, you can actually hear me talking, which might be a good thing or it might be a bad thing. But activity 2 is exactly the same as activity 1, but what I'd like you to do is do it with your eyes closed. Okay, now that might sound really, really strange, but what you tend to find is if you've got your eyes open, you'll just try and land next to the cone that you've done before. So your second one, you'll try and land somewhere near your first one, and your third one, you'll try and land somewhere near your second one. Obviously, if you've got your eyes shut, you can't, because you can't see that area. Obviously, it might not be advisable to do it in the garden, because there might be things around that you can trip over. So this is ideal for a big open space and having someone there with you, just making sure you're not going to run into anything. Okay, so you're going to do exactly the same as activity 1, but you're going to have your eyes shut. And again, you're going to do it 3 or 4 times and pop your cone or your marker to see where you land. Okay, we'll get to activity 3.
Activity 2, you've tried this 6 times, and you'll have 6 different cones down at that
This
end.
is activity 3.
Hopefully, they're all in the same place, or they're all very, very similar. So you've got a good idea where you can run from. Activity 3, what I'd like you to do is we're going to choose a cone from up there, the one that felt the most suitable and that you were nice and balanced and had a good rhythm. And we're going to run from that cone up to the line. I'm going to pretend to bowl. You need somebody with you just to check where your front foot is landing, because remember we said a part of your foot needs to be behind this line. Okay, so you're going to do that 6 times, and we're going to see if you land consistently in the same place. So now you've completed those 3 activities.
Okay. Again, if you've got any questions, just pop them in the chat box as we're going along. This is all about me explaining it. So, you know, when you've got your 30 minutes or so time over the next few days, you can do these activities. Okay. So from that, you've done it 6 times. You can take a video, George, of it, and you can send it into me. That's absolutely fine. But you don't have to. It's more for you to work through in your own time. So when you've done that, basically what I said there, when you've done that, you've probably got 1 or 2 that felt right. Okay. By that, I mean your rhythm and your momentum into the crease was really, really good, and you were landing consistently where you wanted to be. Okay. So you're gonna choose from there, and you're going to run in, but you need somebody to check at the crease line. If you haven't got a line, pop a couple of cones down on markers so whoever's watching can see where that line is, and just check that you're landing in the same place. Okay. The big thing to check and think about is when you start your run up, make sure you're stepping off the same foot each time. So don't one time step off your left foot first and then step off your right foot the next time, because it's going to be different. Okay. The other thing is you want to try and make sure it's the same number of strides into the crease. So again, that person that's there checking with you, they can check that you're setting off from the same foot, and they can count your strides in to check that they're consistent. If they are, hopefully, our front foot landing behind, or a part of it behind that line, will be consistent. Okay, so that's activity 3. Last one for you.
That you're happy with, that you're nice and balanced, and you've got some rhythm, and it's nice and smooth, and you're landing consistently in the same place, so it's repeatable. Okay, so once you've done that, activity 4, now I'm fairly sure the vast majority of you won't have done this before. Okay, so what I'm looking for you now to do, instead of either marking it with feet back or riding it back, what I'd like to use is either a tape measure, more string, some string. And all we're going to do is we're going to pop the tape measure on the line is where we're going to start with it. Someone's going to hold it, we're going to measure it all the way back. Okay, so then you can keep this in your kit bag or your string, cut it to the required length, and you know exactly the length of your run up. So at training and matches, before you start, you can mark your run up so it's nice and consistent. So I hope those 4 activities have given you a run up that you're comfortable with, that is repeatable, and you can build momentum into the crease.
So it's popped on there. If you want to send them in, you can. There's my email address. And I've also put the social media sites on there that you can send them to. But I know your parents, adults and guardians have got my phone number. So just make sure it's them that sends it in to me. But I'm more than happy for you to send videos and stuff in through there. So yes, activity 4. Now, I'm not suggesting you go down to B&Q and buy a tape measure. You don't need a tape measure at all. Okay. You can use, I know there's a bit of background noise, so you can use string. So if you're at school, you might want to pinch some from school, but ask them nicely. Don't be stealing it.
Focus on
just tell them you've got a homework project. So you can use your string, and then you can cut it at the required length. Okay, so you can just roll that string up, put it in your kit bag, and then you can use it. Okay, so if you do those 4 steps, I said do 3 of each. You could probably do a lot more than 3 of each to make sure you're really, really comfortable and you get that run up perfect. Okay, like I said, if you can get that run up right, generally it's going to transfer really well into where that ball's going. Help you bowl it quicker, spin it more, or swing it more. Okay, so that is uploaded to YouTube, and I've gone through it now. If there's any questions, I know George had asked one which I'd answered, but if anybody's got any questions on those 4 activities, pop a message in the chat box and I'll answer anything specific now. I'll just reiterate that activity 2, where you've got your eyes closed, make sure you're in a big open space and make sure you've got someone there that's watching you. Okay. The other thing, if you're actually putting your foot down and bowling, just be careful if it's a bit slippy and wet. Maybe wear football boots if you're on the grass, if you've got them, or just be careful with your footing. So have we got any questions? There's nothing in there at the minute. We all understand, and we're all ready to give it a go. First 2 steps, yeah, I'll repeat them. I won't put the video on, but step 1 is you running back from the crease, away from the batter and pretending to bowl and putting a cone down. Okay, so you can do that 3, 4, 5 times, and so you should have 3 or 4 or 5 different cones in different areas. So that's activity 1. Then you're going to do exactly the same for activity 2, but you're going to have your eyes closed. Okay, so that's where it's really important to make sure that you're in an open space and someone's there watching you, but that just stops you predicting and looking down at your other cones from before and making sure you're somewhere near. Having your eyes closed, you'll find it really interesting, I hope, and you might get some that are completely different areas, but it's just a good little practice to make sure that you're not cheating. Is that okay? I hope that explained it, but it is all on the video, which is on YouTube. So we're all happy. Keep commenting if you need to. Right, last little slide. What might change your run up? So I'm looking again for you to be interactive in the chat box. What things might make you change your run up? Give me some ideas. What might make you change? So lack of rhythm, correct? Yeah, if you've not got it right, which is the whole reason for going through these 4 steps. Finn, that's a good one. The conditions. Talk to me a little bit more about the conditions. Batsman needing more momentum or less momentum. Weather, timing wrong. Left-hander, that's interesting. Do you mean coming over and around the wicket? Uphill, downhill, like that one. Strides, different cause, loads. Brilliant, keep them coming. Fantastic. So you've got loads there, and as always, there's no right or wrong answers. This is just you guys giving me some ideas when you different stuff. Brilliant. Right. Now, you've probably seen, if you watched the test matches recently, England and Sri Lanka, especially the first test when it was a little bit wet, especially days 4 and 5, you'll see, or you should see, on the grass where the feet marks get sort of imprinted. So Stuart Broad, who bowled in the first test, Jimmy Anderson bowled in the second, you'll see, because they bowl so many overs and they land those feet in the same place every single time. So I know if you had mentioned changing your running style and changing certain things, you can vary sort of ever so slightly occasionally, but the main thing is that you're consistent and you're landing in the same place. Okay, so you can be nice and balanced and building up your rhythm. So just watch out for that when you watch the test matches, because it is really interesting to see how they land in the same place. So you've got a lot of these that I said. I think it was Joe that said running uphill or downhill. So if you're running uphill, obviously you might find that you're not getting close to the line. If you're running downhill, you might be bowling no balls. Okay, so I think I mentioned it later on, but the umpire or your coach at training is someone that's really, really important to speak to about how close is my foot to that line. Okay, and you can always change it depending on what they say. If you're getting close, you might bring it back a little bit. You run up, so start from the back, or if you're getting really, really, really far away, you might bring it forward. Okay, but running uphill or downhill, strong wind. Okay, so the spinners tend to get stuck into the wind. If you've got a strike fast bowler, they usually bowl with the wind, and if you're more of a swing bowler, you usually get stuck running into the wind. So that can affect, obviously, the distance that your strides are, and might make it difficult. Strong wind, again, whether it's behind you or into your face. So you might have to sort of amend your run up. Someone said weather, so hard or soft ground. Try running on concrete compared to running on the beach. So you will get some pitches and some grounds that are soft and some that are hard. So again, that can have an impact on the length of your run up. You've grown, so I won't grow because I'm old. I'll probably shrink in a few years' time. But as you grow, as you get stronger, your stride lengths are probably going to change and get further apart. So you might find, especially after a winter off, your run up from last year isn't quite right. So again, go through that 4-step process that I've just given you to get your new run up. Okay. And I said that, ask the umpires and the coaches. They're really, really important people. As long as you speak to them nicely, they'll be more than happy to sort of tell you how close you're getting and how far away you are. Okay, so they're just some reasons why things might change, and you might have to be adaptable from your measurement to make sure that you're on point. Okay, so that pretty much gets us to the end. Any questions? Has anybody got anything that they want to ask or want to clarify? just while I'm giving you a bit of time to write in there if you want, a reminder about you. I've probably got about half of people's videos, batting, bowling and fielding. So try and get those into me by Sunday, because the first session next week on the Tuesday is about batting analysis. So I'm going to be getting each of your individual videos up on the screen when I'm sharing it. So if it's Harry's, for example, I'll then talk to Harry about what he's doing really, really well, which is always important, and try and make that even better. And then I might be able to give him a couple of little points that can make him even better. When do you want the 4 activities in? You can do them in your own time. You don't have to send them in. But if you're worried you've not quite got it right, or you want some advice, send them in and pop a little note on, and I'll get back to you about sort of some suggestions to make it better. What angle do you want the video? Whatever. In terms of bowling, ideally if you can do one, so from the batter and then one from the side, just lets me see all angles. When you're batting, just from the bowler's end, so I can see you hitting the ball. And same when you're picking the ball up, so from front, so I can see where your body is. You don't need to be padded up. I've had a few people in gardens just with tennis balls. I've had somebody inside with a softball. I wouldn't advocate it. Don't be breaking any ornaments and things. But no pads. It's just make sure you're holding the bat, you're standing as you would. It just gives me a good idea. Hang on. Can't see that. Do we show you our performance post outcome? Yes, George, you can send that. If you want to send them in to me, you can. We covered it in a little bit more detail on Tuesday. The main people I think you should be sharing those with are your coaches at your club, if you're playing some district or county, and your managers. But the main thing is that you're writing them down. You know them, your coaches and managers know them, so you can be held accountable and you can amend those as you go along. But yes, send them to me. I'm more than happy to feedback and tell you if they're on the right lines, or if you need a little bit more, we need to be more specific or whatever. I think I've covered everything. Perfect. So get yourself on YouTube, get that video with the 4 activities on. Have a great time doing it. I'll see you on Saturday morning. Saturday morning is the batting fundamentals. So we're going to be doing lots of, again, very similar to this. I'll go through 3 or 4 activities that you're going to do, and then you can do them in your own time. Gives you a chance to ask the questions and make sure we're doing everything right. Got a few more messages. Just let me scroll up by. Perfect. We're all good. Brilliant. So enjoy the rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday morning. Well done, everyone. See you soon.
Cheers, Wardy.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. See you all soon.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, everyone. See you soon.